All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whenever you're watching another Fight Night card in the Apex. This will be updated or refreshed in a sec. It is actually 12 fights. I know I hate to get you some false hope from the start, but this Gimenis fight was canceled a couple days ago. We also Zach Reese stepping in for who was it originally?
Robert Valentin.
Yeah,
I had a bet on him too.
Valentin. Yeah, what a gross fight that was going to be. But you had Valentin in that one?
Yeah, I had him at like minus 145, and he jumped up to like minus 180. And then I didn't even know it got off. I just saw I had money back into my account, and I was like, what the heck happened? And then I saw that the guy from last week was going to replace him, I thought. I didn't even know
Dante Johnson. Yep. Yeah, he I think he didn't get cleared for medical reasons. That's what it was. So out was Valentine. That sucks for you about the CLV. Then in was Dante Johnson, was going to fight on day's notice, who just knocked out Dumas last week, or submission. I can't remember which one, second round. And then he didn't get cleared for medical. So then in is Zachary. So we're at 12 fights right now. Again, this should update any second. No Yanez, Quinones. I think it's a solid card, though. I mean, there's no doubt next week pay-per-view is the big card. So am I excited for this? It's fights on my screen. I wouldn't rank it up there as one of the best cards, but what are your initial thoughts on it and how are we doing today?
Yeah, I think I'm excited for DFS, especially if I do like a 20 or less lineups. I think this is a good one to kind of narrow down my pool a little bit and focus in on a couple fighters and fights. And then there's a couple fights I'm looking forward to watching too. So if we can be profitable, I'll definitely like the card. If I know I'm dead from the start, we'll see if I even finish it.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll be watching, like always. Live betting opportunities pretty good, but DFS, I think it's just a solid card. All right, yeah. Do you want to anything else? Well, first of all, I gotta say hi. DFS Whispers, G Kiefer, Dirty O. Is there anything that you want to mention or talk about for that Bulgarian stuff?
Nah, I just wish I freaking bet it because I saw it happening. Knew it was gonna happen. I just like, well, it already moved that much. I don't know if I want to play it now, but I was like, hindsight, I should have freaking played it. I mean, I've been calling this, I don't know about fighters corrupt for a long time, but I think there's a lot of corruption going on in the sport for a long time now. And it doesn't shock you at all. A fighter going out there making like 20 and 20, why not throw the fight for 100K, you know? Pay your fighters more, UFC.
Yeah, no, I said the same thing. Tambo asked me about it, and I was like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, UFC's tough. Some of these guys are getting paid 10 and 10s. Like, they're going to offer them 7, 8, 9, 10x what you make in there. I mean, they also get punched in the head for a living. At the end of the day, I mean, some people are just going to take that, and it's not good, obviously. I just think the penalty needs to be higher for stuff to change. I agree. My buddy did bet it because we were tracking it as well, and I kind of had the initial same mindset as you, which is why I didn't bet it. Like, I already missed the boat. But, man, I mean, at this point, if anything's moving that much, like, it's for a reason. Like, it feels like almost lock city. I mean, my buddy still got plus 166. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I could have fired plus 166. They come knocking on my door. Hey, what'd you do? Hey, I tracked line movement, buddy. I mean, it was plus 210. It's plus 1. Like, what do you want? I got a bad number. So, yeah, I kicked myself for that one as well. Similar to you, that should have been an auto bet. Just spots you don't see very often. It obviously moved for a reason. I don't know how accurate this was, but I saw like 16 million was the handle in that fight or something. Like, come on. A UFC Apex card and like not a main event. Like, there was alarm balls set off at a lot of places. So definitely interested to see where that all goes.
It is wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild. All right, let me try and refresh one more time. It's taking forever. But yeah, we'll get this out of here. But we're gonna start bottom to top. Like always, we have Zach Reese stepping in again for Valentin at minus 300. Jackson McVey plus 250. Only one prop I see since Reese did just take this fight recently. Under 1.5 is minus 205. So it opened minus 185. Now it's minus 205. So that's good to see. And then Zachary Reese open minus 500. And yeah, this was today that these lines came out this morning. So open minus 500. It was minus 320. Shortly after, stayed around there for a bit, and then a little buyback on the McVey side. So yeah, break this one down. Zachary Reese and Jordan McVey, or Jackson McVey. Why do I keep calling him Jordan?
Yeah, our Zachary Reese stats, I think, are Valentine's stats too. So
they are.
Don't look at those at all. But yeah, I like Zach Reese here. I'm not a McVey believer. I just don't think he's UFC caliber. I think if he can get into the clinch or get the fight to the mat, then he can finish guys. But I don't think he's going to be a good minute-to-minute winner. I don't think he's got knockout power, and I don't think he's a good wrestler. I actually think Reese is the better wrestler here, and I think he's got an even bigger edge on the feet. So as long as he can avoid being taken down and having his neck taken on the ground in the first round, then I think Reese knocks him out or even submits him himself. I just think he's levels above this guy. Even on short notice, I don't think it matters. The under 1.5 at minus 200, I like that. So Reese going to be a play I see myself heavy on. And then you're paying extra for McVey at 7,900. So I'm just going to X him out, make it a little easier on myself.
Yeah, that's a very interesting note. All right, so we got that updated. Now we're reflecting the 12 fights and the Zachary Reese stuff. Like that'll all be filled in. But the interesting note, so Zachary Reese will probably be somewhere in that 9K-ish spot. Should have a really good inside the distance prop. The under's hammered. Like, I think he's a great play. But I probably will play McVey. Like, when I want to overspend for fighters is when it's just heavily juiced to finish. And we got a minus 205 for under 1.5, which means the inside the distance to finish. Like, it might be a minus 400, minus 450. I get he's a big dog, but, like, when he wins, what does he score? And I think he scores probably big regardless of it. So, like, he's going to be super low owned because it's uncomfy to click. But, yeah, I mean, I'm down to click it if I think he can score 90+ in most wins. I'm going to be curious to see that inside the distance prop compared to his money line. But just seeing under 1.5 juice pretty good makes me still interested on the McVey side. But I agree. Zach Reese is my preferred play. His round one prop should be one of the best on the slate as well. All right, let's move to a fight that I do not have much interest in. Daniel Marcos, Miles Johns, minus 185 Marcos, plus 160 is Johns, plus 225 for this fight to finish. Marcos plus 325 inside the distance, Johns plus 550. I got this as a fight fade. I mean, I think Marcos is just a good, steady fighter, but he's a striker who mainly goes to decision. And Miles Johns, I mean, he almost always goes to decision too. He does wrestle a little bit. You see 1.29 takedowns per 15 down there. Marcos is hard to take down, though. I think both these guys probably stand at range. Marcos pieces up that leg, probably just wins with volume and doesn't score enough for 8,500. But if I had to pick a preferred side, it's Johns. You have it as well, just because he's 800 cheaper and he has some wrestling upside, I guess. How do you see it?
Yeah, just same as you. I'm picking Marcos to win because I think he is just the better boxer. This fight probably takes place on the feet more often than on the ground, and I think he's just going to be the minute winner there. But I don't think he scores well in DFS. I don't even think he's going to 10x in a decision win. I think he's more playing for a knockout to have any chance at the optimal. So I'm going to X him out as well. If I had to play either side, it'd be Johns coming off his most aggressive performance in his UFC career, like the most strikes landed. I think he had 5 takedowns as well. He's going to need to be looking for that same kind of game plan here against Marcos. So if he does win, I think he could get 90s if he comes as the same as he did in that last fight. But tough matchup, going to be hard to get 5 takedowns here. So I'm not going to be high on him. Just a guy I'm fine playing as an underdog.
Yeah, same way. Last thing to note on this one, open minus 300. That was corrected real quick, though. 2 minutes. I mean, I wonder, again, I always look at Bet Online. They're the ones that seem to at least put out the first lines, the initial lines, and people copy them. So I think they're the smartest right now. But, man, I mean, these people are all over it offshore. 2 minutes later, it's at minus 175. And it has stood around there ever since. So, yeah, not a fight I really want much of. Miles Johns, if anything, due to the wrestling upside and the price discount. Next fight on the card, I mean, let's get both the fades out of the way for me. Denise Gomes, minus 180. Tisha Torres plus 155, minus 325 for this one to go the distance. Gomes plus 300 inside the distance. Torres plus 800. I mean, I guess if you wanted to, like, go to the odds converter, you got me into this. Let's see. Plus 300 inside the distance, or plus 300 equals 25%. At the end of the day, 25% would be almost double the field probably on Denise Gomes. The problem is, I mean, third round finish isn't guaranteed to be optimal. Now, if you told me she was going to get a finish, yeah, I'd probably play north of 25% because what it does to your lineups to get different. But at 8,900, you got to do something. Takedowns only 1.19, volume about 4.5. One of the most likely fights to go the distance. Feels really tough for me to get there. I plan on fading this fight. This fight and that Marcos Johns, my two least favorite fights on the card. Yeah, I see you got Mayra, Bueno, and Cavalcanti, but you have these down there as well. So do you see it the same? Pretty much a fade?
Yeah, probably a fade, but I'm okay using Gomes as a way to get different in this one. I do think she is the one with the ceiling. She has knockout power. I wouldn't rely on a 115-pound woman to get a knockout, but if there is a knockout in this fight, I would think it's her. But it's really the wrestling that I think could put her up to 100 or more points. Tisha was taken down, let me see here, 5 times in her last fight against Pinheiro, 4 times against Esparza. And then if you go back to when she fought Andrade took her down 10 times. I mean, she's someone who can get taken down and pop back up. And if she is having success on the feet, I would think that Gomes is going to be looking for more and more takedowns. But my issue is that maybe Gomes could win the striking and she just keeps it there. And if that's the case, she's not going to score well. So not a play I want to go after, but just one of those how much do you win when you win type of plays. I'm not against playing her, but I'll probably avoid Pennington. The line's going in her favor, though. If it keeps closing, maybe I could be interested, but I just don't think she has any ceiling. It'd be more hoping she even hits 10x.
I agree for sure with that. I mean, you're pretty much hoping every favorite wins, essentially, it feels like, for the Pennington side. And I mean, we can see by these, yeah, Hokit is a big favorite. Reese is minus 300, but we have plenty in the minus 100, minus 200 range, which sets up for me as underdogs can come through, and almost any single underdog, I think, has a higher ceiling than Tisha. So I agree. It's Gomes or pass. Probably passing on Gomes, especially the less teams I make. But like you're plus 300 inside the distance, it's not good for the price. It's not terrible, though. And if you do think there is wrestling upside, I'm worried that she's just a better striker too, and she just has fun out there, and then it's really hard to score. But if you're right and you're getting 3, 4, 5, 6 takedowns, she's going to be super low owned. You can eat a lot of chalk around it. So
I'd like to see what her takedown prop is. I would say that at least 1.5, but if it's 2.5, then I'm more interested. Yeah,
I'll look when you're talking about, or if I can pull up my underdog account. Usually that's where I go look. Does the DraftKings have it too?
I might cut out, so I don't do it.
yeah, don't do that. I'll look when you're talking about the next fight. But yeah, not a great fight, in my opinion, for DFS. Now, what is a great fight for DFS is this next one, the biggest favorite on the card. Josh Hokit, minus 400, taking on Max. Gimenis, plus 300, minus 500 for this fight to finish. We have Hokit, minus 250. Gimenis, plus 425. Take it away right here. I mean, this minus 500 to finish. We have big price difference, a biggest favorite on the card. But yeah, heavyweight fights, minus 500 to finish. It looks like one we got to target.
Yeah, I think Hokit's just going to be my favorite play on the card. I couldn't find any film on this Max Gimenis guy. It's just grappling, and he's got a long grappling record. Not even a really good one, but it's long. And he's got all of his MMA fights are just early finishes against records that are terrible. And the fact that you can't find them makes me think that this guy really sucks. I bet he's going to come out there and look like just either a pure grappler or your typical barroom brawler who then tries to get a takedown. That's just my guess, man. I don't know what this guy's going to look like. It's just pure guesses, but he is a big boy. Hokit's green himself, so you could play him because of those reasons, but I'm just going to take the Hokit side. He does have some hype behind him, and he wants to go in there, crash in for an early takedown, and once he gets it, he's going to try and get the finish on the mat in that first round, and I think he does just that. So give me 100-plus points from Hokit here. Hopefully it'll be enough if it's a minute and 30 into the fight. But I'll take my chances there and Xing out this Max guy. I'd rather see it, I guess, before I start buying into him at all. I'll think of other ways to get different.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I'm probably not going to X him out pre-flop, but if I get 0 in my 20 entry, I'm fine. The reason to play him is Hokit's probably second, third highest owned on the card. So you're getting some of the most leverage off the chalkiest guy in a fight minus 500 to finish at very low ownership, where most of his win equity is by finish. So, I mean, you get 10%. You could be overweight there with upside and leverage. So I don't hate it, just pure game theory. But, man, yeah, a guy is a primary grappler to have the worst sub prop by a good bit. Like, Gimenis or whatever is plus 1,000 by sub, whereas Hokit's plus 400. Like, the dude's just a grappler and might get submitted, and he's taking money to get submitted. Like, Hokit by sub open plus 550, now plus 400. It feels like a slam dunk spot for sure. But, I mean, yeah, this Hokit guy seems okay. I mean, he definitely has talked his talk on Contender Series, plenty of people cheering against him. He should come in here and smash this one. But, again, if he doesn't, there's a lot of ways. Like, you could see solo shippers, 6,800 opens up the world, probably gets a finish somehow. Hokit gasses. A lot of routes for this one to go. But, yeah, I'm going to play a fight minus 500 to finish. Hokit looks like a very good play. Next fight on the card, another spend-up option that's going to be probably the lowest owned in that upper tier. Jacqueline Cavalcanti, minus 236. Mayra Bueno Silva, plus 201. Minus 350 for this fight to go the distance. The underdog with a better inside the distance prop, plus 365. Cavalcanti, plus 650. Are you playing any of this fight? I see you have it as a 1-star.
No, if I have 20 or less lineups, full fade. If it's more than 20, I'm not against Mayra Bueno Silva as just a really cheap punt, because if there's a first round finish, I'm thinking it's really, if there's a finish in the first 2 rounds, I would think it's her. So all the ceiling is on her side, but she just doesn't wrestle as much as I would want her to. She is the one with the grappling edge in this fight, but I have a feeling she accepts a striking match, and Cavalcanti wins 30-27 and scores 68 points. 68 points at 9,200. You might as well call it a night. So I'll just X her out.
Yeah, that's how I'm seeing it too. I just think Jacqueline, like, I don't even love Silva because I think she gets some ownership when people see her inside the distance prop and know the name, and like they think the floor is higher because it's supposed to go to the distance. But I mean, Cavalcanti is nice on the feet. I think she just pieces her up. That leg kick's good. The volume's good. It's just her style for DFS does not translate with no wrestling upside and really not much finishing upside. So it's a fight fade for me pretty much. Like, I'm fine having Silva in the pool. She catches her with something, but I think Cavalcanti rolls, and this is not a fight I want much of it all. I think we have a clear 3 fights that are in the lowest tier, and Big Marley sees it the same. This fight, Denise Gomes, Pennington, Marcos Miles, Johns. Clearly for me, the worst 3 fights on this card. But usually that translates to probably the 3 lowest owned fights on the card. A fight that won't be low owned and that I'll definitely be playing, Hyder Amil, minus 136. Jamal Emmers, plus 116, minus 250 for this fight to finish. Meal, plus 120 inside the distance. Emmers, plus 200. First thing that stands out to me, on Monday I put up these props. Minus 210 for this fight to finish on Monday. Now minus 250. So the under is taking some money. A little buyback on the Emmers side as well. Closest line fight on the card, closest price fight on the card. How do you see it going? What are you doing for DFS?
Yeah, I like both sides of this one. I think it's going to be a fun fight. Amil's just always going to be in fun fights. He pushes the pace early. He can throw a lot of volume. He's got power, and Emmers has been knocked out a handful of times, like 4 to 6 times, I want to say. So Amil's definitely live to get a knockout. But Emmers is the better wrestler. He's also a good striker, too. I mean, I feel like Emmers could win a striking match. He could knock Amil out. He really could win by any method. But if I was his coach, I'd really want him to be mixing in takedowns. I'd want like 2 to 4 takedowns here. And if that's the case, I think Emmers wins the fight. So I prefer the underdog in this one, and I think that Amil's pace and pressure should help Emmers score more DFS points as well. So I'll probably be overweight to Emmers and then around the field or underweight to Amil, but fun fight. One I'll be targeting fairly heavily. And if I ended up overweight to both, I'd be fine with that too.
That'd be my ideal. And the reason for that is, I mean, I can drop from, let's see, Ismael Bonfim, 9K. I'll just drop down to Hyder Amil, 8,200 and leave $800. Like, Hyder Amil is one of the highest ceilings on the slate with his big boy, significant strikes per minute, 6.84, great cardio. He gets better as the fight goes. Like, this fight just looks slam dunk type stuff. I struggled on the side. Like, I was going, like, do you see it the same as I feel like what most do, whereas the longer the fight goes, Amil just uses his gas tank and starts breaking Emmers, or do you think Emmers can keep that high pace for 15 minutes?
I think he could keep that pace for 15 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not Amil's pace, but a winning pace.
Yeah, I mean, if he can, I think this line's probably just wrong at the end of the day. I mean, it's Jamal Emmers is like skill for skill. I don't see where he's the underdog in this fight, but I think the pace, just the will to win might be on the Amil side. Being able to leave $200, probably get an ownership discount with Emmers, probably leads me to that as my preferred play, but ideally I'll get overweight on both. I don't need to make a strong stance in this one. I just want to make sure I have a lot. Again, the under being hit 40 cents for this fight to finish Monday to Thursday is pretty significant and something I do want to follow. All right, next fight on the card. Again, appreciate everyone hanging out. Like button and subscribe button helps us out a ton, and I will bring up shout out to Splash Sports, partnering up with them over here. Offered a very nice and generous discount. If you use that promo code SHIPIT, go over to Splash Sports. They will match $50 for your first deposit. Also, 100% payout boost on your first quick pick entry. Take a look for NFL, for NBA, whatever you think you are best at. It is similar to like Pick Six, Prize Picks, where you pick over-unders on player props. You pick multiple of them. You compete against other people. And then if you do go like 6 for 6, whatever it may be, you do get additional 100% payout boost on top for your first entry. So Splash Sports continues to grow. A lot of Survivor stuff, quick pick stuff. Get on over and check it out. All right, next fight on the card. 6 fights left. We have Marco Tulio and Christian Leroy Duncan. Tulio minus 175. Leroy Duncan plus 150. Minus 130 for this fight to finish. Tulio plus 165 inside the distance. Christian Leroy Duncan plus 300. This fight almost, tell me if you can see it, but it's almost a copy and paste of that Waldo DeLiha fight for me last week in the sense of the props are pretty much the same. It was like minus 130 to finish. You can make a case for both guys because it's heavyweight, heavy hands. It only takes one. It's not heavyweights, sorry, big boys in the middleweight division, but it's two powerful guys that are known for knockouts. That one punch can change anything. But if they don't get that knockout, I don't think either wrestles, and there has a chance to be a boring pace at distance. And if it gets outside, I mean, for sure outside the second round, and even a second round finish from Tulio might not be enough. So I'm a little worried with over 2.5 favored in this one, or at least a coin flip. If there's not a finish in the first 2 rounds, I mean, it's got to be CLD that you'd rather have, and that's why it leads me to him being my preferred play because of the 1,200 savings. But, yeah, I'm kind of torn on this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I got it as a 3 for that reason because I don't think there's going to be a lot of wrestling, but I actually am preferring the Tulio side because if there is wrestling, I'm thinking it's him. He's the one I see pushing forward, throwing more volume, and if there's wrestling, he could – I think maybe dominate the fight on the ground. But they are both primary strikers, so you're really playing for the knockout if it is a striking match. I don't see either one of them scoring well in a striking-based decision. If that was the case, then yeah, CLD, I guess, would have to be the play. But I see me being over or around the field on Tulio and then under on Duncan in this one. Probably over on – I kind of like Tulio here, so I'll probably be over the field on Tulio, actually.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I probably won't. I'll probably be around the field. I mean, he's plus 165 to finish, which is definitely solid. CLD plus 300 solid. It's just I think there's more outs for CLD just because a decision win, 80 could be enough. But the volume is very good for Tulio. 8,700 is a fine price tag. Not a strong take for me. Again, I'm a little concerned at the minus 130 to finish when it seems like it should be a little higher if it goes the distance. I think it'll be tough for Tulio at 8,700. But yeah, plus 165 inside the distance is good. Ownership should stay in check. I'll probably be around the field on both guys. I don't want this fight to bury me, whatever happens. All right, next fight on the card. Another good one to target. Uros Medic, minus 154. Muslim Salikhov, plus 134. Most likely fight to finish on the card, minus 600. Medic, minus 125 inside the distance. Salikhov, plus 170. Pretty good amount of line movement on the Salikhov side. So it was minus 180 on Monday. Now it's minus 154. I see you have more stars on the Salikhov side than Medic. You get $1,400 savings. Is it just a pretty much coin flip fight to you on the feet? Might as well take the savings or what?
Well, I might be a 3-3 on this one because when I did the fight, Salikhov was like plus 170, plus 180.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just closer to a coin flip than that. So I picked Salikhov for that reason. But I just think it's going to be a knockout either way. I see this one ending under 2 rounds, probably in the first round. Medic is going to be the quicker striker, almost 10 years younger as well. But Salikhov, the more proven guy, I think more powerful as well. And I just trust him a little bit more. So I'm picking Salikhov here. But if I make my lineups on SaberSim and I have like 60% Medic, 40% Salikhov, I'd be fine with that, I think. So either way in this one, I'm cool with it. But Salikhov, when I'm hand building, he is one that I'm clicking as my underdog a lot to see what I can do with the rest of my lineup. So I'd imagine I end up with more Salikhov here. It's just that my pick on him wasn't confident. It was just the line talked me into it. If Medic was plus 130, I'd be picking him actually.
What about now at minus 154, plus 134? What's your lean?
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought about it more. I'd still be picking Salikhov. But like the closer it gets, like the more I would have been thinking about it as I made my pick. But just I made it on Sunday. So I took Salikhov there, and then I kind of just try to stick with my pick throughout the week.
Yeah, that makes sense. Man, I don't really have a strong lean on the side. It just seemed the under 1.5 open or plus 140. Now it's minus 155. Like if this fight ends in the first 2 rounds, I'll take my chances. I think you're getting at least a knockdown from it. Medic shows good volume. Any Salikhov win should score at that price tag. So yeah, I just want to be in on a minus 600 fight to finish. Neither breaks the bank. I would love to get overweight on both guys. Like, is your concern that it's a Salikhov fight, so these guys just stand at range and it could be lower volume, no one gets knocked out? Like that's how it busts, right?
I mean, that's usually my concern in all Salikhov fights, but I think Medic erases that concern a little bit.
That's good. Yeah, the line pretty much says the same, which makes me feel better that you say that as well. All right, 3 fights left. No,
4 fights left.
I skip? Yeah, I did. I skipped the Simone Barcelos fight and the Ismael fight because I just went based on fight odds. Sorry about that. Let's jump back to on the stone, Ricky Simone, Raoni, Barcelos. We have minus 175. Simone plus 150. Raoni plus 170 for this fight to finish. Plus 300 inside the distance for Simone. Plus 395 inside the distance for Raoni. Take it away. What are you doing?
Fine with either side of this fight. Usually Simone fights I do like because he is a high-paced fighter and usually high-paced with his wrestling. So I always like Simone, but at the same time, I think he is falling off a little bit with that pace and that wrestling. And Barcelos is a really good fighter that I don't know that you have a real edge against anywhere. I think if it's a 15-minute striking match, maybe Simone is more dangerous early, but I think Barcelos is the more skilled striker over 15 minutes. I would pick him there. If there's a late knockout, I guess it could be either way, but I think at that point, Barcelos would have been going already. I think I would trust him late. And if there's a submission, it could be on the Barcelos side in this one. So I'm picking Barcelos. Another one where I think it's kind of closer to a pick 'em fight. I took the underdog. But on DFS, if someone scores 110 or 120 points, I don't think that's really possible for Barcelos unless it gets a quick finish. Simone can do that in a decision if we see, like prime Simone. So I'd be another one. I'd be fine if I did end up with more Simone here. But my plan going into it is to be overweight Barcelos, under or around the field on Simone.
Yeah, I'll always play Simone just because of this 5.01 takedowns per 15. No, I don't think there's any doubt that he's not in his prime, even at 33. So I don't know how much 8, 9, 10 takedown upside he has. All right, what 7 takedowns I'm telling you he gets. What percent of the time is he getting that?
On Barcelos, I would say low, 10% of the time.
Yeah. The thing about Ricky, and you might be surprised to see this. So plus 325 Ricky by KO, plus 600 for Ione. Are you surprised to see Ricky's almost double the chance to knock him out?
No, because I think Barcelos has taken some damage in his last couple fights. So and he is older. So I think like once your chin goes, it goes. And we had the Simone knockout Basharat. So to me, it's just a recency bias type of in the line, but it also could be true. Like Barcelos just might not be able to take the damage anymore.
Yeah, and Ricky, I mean, he throws, pretty hard for like when he gets in tight, he'll throw hard like that Basharat KO, etc. But with a guy that can chain takedowns like Ricky, I just like this fight in the sense, even though it's supposed to go to decision, like if Ricky is wrestling, Ione has chances for reversals, for his own takedowns, for control time. I just want to see wrestling. I just want to see scrambles at the end of the day in UFC because so much can happen on both sides. And if you get one-way traffic from either guy, you can get a big score that way. So, yeah, a good mid-tier fight. And it can't be super high-owned with Bonfim Brown in the main event getting a good amount of ownership. And then where's the Hyder Amil, Jamal Emmers? I think this fight clearly is higher owned than Simone Barcelos as well. So it'll get some ownership. But with Bonfim and Amil right around that range, I do think the ownership stays in check and there's clear upside on both sides. All right, next fight on the card, a 2-star for you. Ismael Bonfim, the brother of Gabriel, who's in the main event. Minus 205, taking on Chris Padilla, plus 175. Minus 115 for this fight to finish. Plus 240 inside the distance on both sides. Just seeing the same inside the distance prop for someone that's 9K and someone that is 7,200, that makes a 7,200 guy a pretty easy click for me. I'll definitely be playing some Padilla. Bonfim falls down the list in the upper tier for me. So I'll be cheering for Padilla in this one. What about you?
Yeah, same thing. I think Padilla could win this fight anywhere. The Bonfim brothers are solid, but I think that they're both getting a little bit too much love from Vegas. At least this weekend. I'm worried about this fight just being low pace though, and maybe either guy gets 1 or 2 takedowns. Less than like 80 strikes throughout the course of 15 minutes, and we just don't get a big score either way. But I'm really not interested in that from Bonfim. Padilla, we can maybe deal with it. So dog or pass for me. Wouldn't X Bonfim out if I'm MMEing, that's for sure. But if I'm making limited lineups, I'm definitely clicking on Reese before him. I'm clicking on Hokit before him. And I'm going down to Medic before I click on him too.
Yeah, I'm going to pretty much everyone except maybe Cavalcanti.
Yeah.
But there's enough people that I can I'm fine not playing any Bonfim if I only got 5, 10, maybe even 15 teams. I'd probably go around the round 1 prop, which depending where you look, the bet online it's plus 600. Plus 600 is 14% chance. If I had 14% Bonfim, I think I'm fine there. He should be low owned to pivot, but I really don't like it much. That's for sure. All right, 2 fights left. I think this one should be a solid co-main event. I misspoke earlier saying the biggest favorite on the card was Hokit. Morales was minus 270 on Monday. Now he's minus 455. Taking on Matt Schnell was plus 355 on the way back. Minus 230 for this fight to finish. So it was minus 180 Monday. Now minus 230. Morales minus 180 inside the distance. Schnell plus 625. Line movement for the inside the distance props. Morales open minus 105, now minus 180. Schnell open plus 375, now plus 625. Obviously a way different scenario than the Bulgarian stuff we talked about, but if you just want to be someone like me who really takes into consideration props, line movement, etc., Morales has just gotten slammed super hard all week. The over has gotten slammed. The inside the distance has gone the right way for him, the wrong way for Schnell. Schnell retired, then he came back. He's getting up there in age. He's taking a lot of damage. This feels like one-way traffic. I think Morales is one of the best plays on the slate. I do not like Schnell one bit. That's how I got it. What about you?
Yeah, I'm not against using Schnell. I think skill for skill. If he showed up hungry and he was really in it and his chin held up, I think he can hang or even beat Morales. But I don't know how motivated he is. I don't know that this is his career in the next 5 years. He's got no real chin. He can be submitted. Morales is coming off the best performance of his life. So, yeah, everything leads to Morales here. He is the preferred play, but I'm not going to X Schnell out. At low ownership, he is one way. I'm fine getting completely different. If I need to click on Schnell to get up to Hokit and Medic and Reese and whoever else it is that fits into my lineup, I'm kind of okay with that. I prefer him over the other ones in his range, over the Max Gimenis and whoever the other one super far down there was. But I do think that Morales probably does get a submission in this fight. 60, almost a 65% chance at a finish with that new inside the distance line. So, I mean, I like him a lot more today than I did on Sunday when he was minus 270 or so. Yeah. He was somebody I was kind of thinking, all right, I'll X him out so I can get more Hokit. And I was thinking like Valentine would be in at that time. But now I really got to think about him over Hokit, especially if he's gonna be lower owned. Who's gonna be lower owned? I don't even know.
I think they're both gonna be probably about the same. You get $100 savings with Morales. You get a little worse, minus 180 versus minus 225 inside the distance for Hokit. You might see Hokit just a little bit more, but I think it's pretty close. I definitely the only place we really differ is I prefer Gimenis over Schnell. Like a $2 better inside the distance prop, similar leverage. And then I think the only one, I don't know, Tisha and Schnell are my clear least favorite down there. It sounds like you like Bueno Silva or Matt Schnell more if you had to pick?
Schnell over Silva, Schnell over Tisha, and Schnell over Gimenis for me.
Okay.
But that's probably it on the Schnell side.
Yeah. If I was playing 150 lineups, which I doubt I am, I'd probably play all 24 fighters, but if I didn't have like a Cavalcanti and I take that back. I'm probably playing all 24. I keep looking at enough pros and people I respect that do play them that are playing every single one. So, all right, I see you watching that game. The Broncos finally, I definitely still in the survivor street, so I'm sweating out these every week, and I'm on the Broncos, so it is not. I've been looking at the score. It's not fun, but at least they're driving.
Yeah, I was expecting them to be like up 2 touchdowns, not even care if the game at this point. But
yeah, that's
when we're done with this, I have something to watch.
Yep, something to sweat after this. All right, last fight of the night, main event time. Gabriel Bonfim minus 178, Randy Brown plus 153. We are looking at minus 275 for this fight to finish. Bonfim minus 110 inside the distance. Randy Brown plus 250. I mean, just a great fight in my opinion for the sense of you have favorite who averages 4 takedowns per 15 minutes. Then you have Randy Brown, who I think he has the advantage on the feet. And just regardless, it's a 25-minute fight with someone at 7,600. Almost every win scores when you get to that price range. He'll be lower owned. If he wins, you have a lot more flexibility in terms of leaving money, spending up for options, etc. I say you have more stars on the Brown side than the Bonfim side. That makes me feel good. I didn't have a strong lean in this one, but taking a 1K savings, is always something I'm interested in doing, especially when I don't love the bottom tier. So, yeah, I'm going to have a bunch of this fight. Break it down, and then are you going to make a rule in this one?
No rule, but I do want a lot of this fight. Bonfim has I was almost going to say all the early finishing equity, but I don't think that's true. He's got a lot of early finishing equity himself. He is really good in the first round. I think striking could go either way in the first round. But Bonfim's big edge should be on the mat. He is going to be the better wrestler, more dangerous grappler. And if there's a first round finish, it's him getting his hand raised. After the second round, though, I don't know that he's the better wrestler anymore. And I think that Brown, if he's not getting subbed in those first 2 rounds, I feel like it's too late for Bonfim to sub him at that point when they're all sweaty and slippery. And Brown starts, once he gets into it, man, he starts feeling himself. He looks really good. And I think he is, after the first round, going to have the clear striking edge in this one. I think he'll also have the clear cardio edge after the 3rd round. So my pick in this one is for Brown to get a 4th or 5th round finish. And if he doesn't, I think he wins the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th on the card. So I'm picking Brown. I think he's the preferred money line play. He's the preferred DFS play. And I think both Bonfim brothers lose. I think if the first Bonfim brother loses, it's also going to help Brown's chance win after his brother's all down, because he's all sad his brother lost.
I like your take. 2 things. First, on Monday, this line was minus 200 Bonfim, now minus 178. So a little buyback on the Randy Brown side. Also, to finish, was minus 325, now minus 275. So 50 cents came in on the over. So Brown and the over is taking money. And then a question for you. If I'm telling you right now, Bonfim wins this fight, how do you see it really playing out? Is it just early dominance through wrestling and he gets a quick finish? Is it?
Yeah, I would think 1st round submission.
Yeah. So are you going to have 100% of this fight? Like almost all Brown wins got to be optimal. And if you think Bonfim runs him over, I mean, that's got to score at 86.
I mean, since I plan on making 20 or less, I would guess I do have 100% of this fight. But if I was making 150 lineups, I mean, the sport's just too fucked up, to be honest with you, to have 150. Like, just something crazy could happen. An eye poke injured night. Like, I just hate having 150 of anything in MMA now. So I try to play it a little safer with my 20 or less now, so that I can afford those big losses when it is the fight I'm heavy on ends up with a 0 on each side, like the Tom Aspinall. Like, that shit kills me. So I'm kind of just done forcing in rules. And it also makes your lineup a lot different when you don't have a Bonfim or a Brown. And you can still have a good-looking lineup that you would think should be chalky, but you don't have the main event. That makes it different.
Yeah, no, I think those are all really good points. I've started to, and I've wrote it up. Like we still have fades and underweight tags. I mean, people still want takes, and if they're only playing certain teams, you only get to look a little bit. They want to see that, but I mean, the sport's so high variance with eye pokes, with nut shots, with the fight's already finished, and now it's not finished, and now this guy gets knocked out. I mean, you know what I mean? We see something new every week. There's variance on variance on variance. Where, yeah, I mean, it's especially a fight like the main event. I think that's probably a mistake I've done. I almost always load up on it. But when it's already so high owned, like these are, fading it, even 8% of your portfolio, if you do land on the nuts with one of those 8%, you could be a solo shipper. Like the winners without the main event, you get paid out a lot when you do win. So I think it's going to be on the optimal. I think almost every week it is. But there's always weeks throughout the year where it's not. And when it's not, there's a lot better chance that you're getting paid a lot more money if you are on the winner there, and you can survive a lot more downswings. You play more aggressive that way. So it's all about a portfolio, how many lineups you're making. But yeah, in a vacuum, clearly the best fight to target. I think it does score and is on the winner. Big Marley, always love talking some fights with you. Always love to see right now the Broncos finally starting to turn around a bit. So going to get off of here, enjoy some basketball, enjoy some football. Again, all MMA content, projections, ownership, everything will be up tomorrow. Like always, excited for a 4 Eastern fight night card, college football going on as well, NFL. So much, as you can see up here. We'd love to have you at the Nation. 5 days for $19 using the code SHIP19. Final thoughts?
Now, hopefully it's a fun card. Hopefully it's a profitable card. Got the Colts as the early game on Sunday, so hopefully I get to start my morning with a win before we get into the main slate. So I'm just hoping it's a badass weekend all around. But good luck to you, Title. Good luck to everybody listening. Let's ship it.
Yeah, I forgot. We got the early football game, 7:30. That's my time. So what? Probably 9:30 Eastern.
Yes, sir.
Yep, 9:30 Eastern. Big Marley will be on the Showdown Playbook, I believe. So check that up on the site for his own Colts. We got some football after that. 2 games, I believe, on Monday. So, yeah, a lot of NFL, college football, MMA. Head over to shippingnation.com. Get in the Discord. That'll do it for us. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Be safe. Good luck this weekend for Big Marley. I'm Titletown. Peace.